Hey guys, Apoc here, and today we are back doing some ladder pushing. In our last video we maxed out our log, so in this video we're going to try to put that log to work. In one of our matches we are facing Clash with Cam. He is a top player and also has a very awesome YouTube channel, so you may want to check that out. We are playing our now fully maxed 2.6 Hog cycle deck today. One of the best skills you can learn in Clash Royale is your opponent's card rotation. This is especially important in Hog Cycle. When you are trying to get past cards such as Inferno Tower, Bowler, or Tornado, because you don't want to overcommit to a push if it's going to be easily countered by one of those cards. But when you have outcycled their main defense to your push, that is when you want to unload and make sure that you get the max amount of damage in all at once. So we'll be able to see some examples of that. Let's hop into some matches. So as we see, this is our first game versus Clash with Cam, also known as CameroBro. We're going to open up with a Hog push with nothing else, just to get our gauge of what's going on. He opens up with a gang. We'll log down that gang and quickly learn that his main defense to us is going to be that gang plus Tornado. Unfortunately, Tornado is a hard counter to Hog Rider. Once the King Tower is active, pulling Hog to the center will kill the Hog for a positive elixir trade of +1. So you do want to make sure that you are careful of that. So we're not able to outcycle him at this point, but we are going to make him waste a log first, and then he will get to his Tornado. So by doing that log is dealing a little bit of chip damage to our tower, but it's really making his Tornado cost 5 instead of 3, which is nice for us because that Tornado would have countered our push with or without it. So that's how we get a little bit of incremental advantage with our Hog cycle deck. So here we go. This time he was not able to get back to his Tornado, as we are quite a bit lower in average elixir cost than him. So we were able to get a couple hits there. So now, knowing for our next push that he will have Tornado in hand, we're not going to cycle to our Hog here, because that would just make our whole push countered. Instead, we'll just let our troops go across the river, and instead we will just fireball down that Mega Minion as we were getting higher on elixir. So Mega Minion will come across the river to its death, and once again we know that the next push will be just countered by the Tornado. So that was a positive one for him, because he didn't have to use anything else. So unfortunately we're not able to go full aggressive to cycle back. Instead we have to start our defense. Now I didn't log down there because I wanted to have those archers on the board. This way they could start dealing with the giant. So basically for only one more elixir, we get to keep our archers as a recurring source of damage. Okay, so we try to lead with a Hog, but we're not able to get through. But now we're able to start getting back into our cycle. Okay, so we're going to block that Mega Minion with our archers, with our skeletons and our knight. And once again, we're going to go for a new Hog push. I thought that we were able to get it, but I was slightly miscalculated, thinking that his defense would have been in the Goblin Gang. So, but instead, now we are going to go with our basically quickest way back to Hog. Skeletons, Ice Spirit, back to Hog. And this time we will correctly predict the troops, and we get several hits, plus the fireball and the log for the win. So getting past that Tornado was key, and knowing when to commit to the push and knowing when not to is extremely important playing 2.6 Hog cycle. So that was a good game, well played by Cam. So let's hop into another one. So this match is versus Simpson from Angry Royale. And once again, we are lucky enough to have our Hog in our opening hand, and so we can just go straight with that. Simpson was a little bit hesitating on what to play. He winds up going with his Mega Minion, but we wind up getting a nice 3 hits on the tower. So instead of using the skeletons, which would then just run to their death, once again we will use those archers so that we have something on the board to start damaging his tank. So we will set up our first defense with our cannon, start pulling that golem. So he fireballs down our knight plus our cannon, which isn't too bad. So we are now going to distract that baby dragon with our hog, as well as getting a lot of damage on the tower here. And then once again we will distract that baby dragon, this time with our knight. Now that knight is going to do a lot of work. He's still tanking that baby dragon, and now he's also going to start tanking that Mega Minion. All the while our archers are just going to town, having no problem whatsoever. So we'll finally get back to one more cycle here. And that lumberjack is not going to get my hog down in time, and that lumberjack is going to wind up dying to our leftover minions. Now think about it, those minions killed, those archers, they killed the golem, the golemites, the baby dragon, the mega minion, as well as that lumberjack. Now that is some value. All because that knight was tanking. Okay, so he does have an elixir lead on us. He's got a pump down, he's got a golem down, and all we have is our lonely little knight. So this is going to be a big defense coming up here. So we're setting up, got our knight already on the golem. Now we got our cannon and our archers also blasting it down. He decides that he's going to fireball down those archers this time. So we are going to bring everything all in. Golem is now dead. We're able to get a nice value fireball, cleaning up everything right there. And really, we took basically no damage except for from that fireball. So, archers are doing work here, cleaning up that Mega Minion. Mega Minion is already pretty low. So, we were able to stop that baby dragon from getting onto our archers by using the Ice Spirit. He winds up having to fireball those archers, but now we have double knight taking down that golem, and we already cycled back to our archers, and even under the rage we're barely taking any damage. So that was a pretty nice defense there against a pumped up golem. So let's get in one more, and this one is going to be versus Nova 1 Trevor. And he is playing a Bowler Expo Giant Skeleton deck. Now I don't know anything about this deck, but it seems very interesting. You know, above 5,400 is pretty impressive. Okay, so Bowler is one of my least favorite cards to play against when playing Hog. So our hog is finally going to make it to the tower after getting body blocked by the giant skeleton because he's giant. So we'll just use our cannon to clean up this bowler, and then we'll use our skeletons to get rid of this Mega Minion plus giant skeleton. And then all of a sudden there's an expo, and man, I really wasn't expecting that. And we are lucky that we were able to get that Ice Spirit onto that expo. If we weren't able to get that Ice Spirit onto the expo, we would have taken a couple hundred more damage. But with both our knight and our hog on the tower, we're able to get that all the way down into 1300s. Now we can just counter this lone musketeer with our skeletons for a nice 1-for-4 trade. So let's start setting up our next push. We know that he's going to have a lot of big troops coming in, so we're not in a hurry to get back to Hog to run him into his bunch of defenses. So we're going to set up a big defense here. Okay, so our skeletons are down. Knight is doing work. So is our cannon. But with his bowler down, and we can run past that bowler, we got our hog back onto that tower. So we are now stopping this this bowler with our skeletons plus our ice spirit, and he's only able to get one shot down, which is great. So then he plops an expo down on the undefended tower side, so we can just drop our knight right on him, as well as with the cannon, to shut that down without taking any damage. So now that he's got another bowler coming in, as well as the giant skeleton, you're going to have to distract that with the knight, plus the cannon, and then all of a sudden, we once again see that expo. We will fireball everything down, and then we will drop our hog right on that expo to get rid of that. Then as soon as this bowler crosses the river, we will use our knight to clean it up. Now he's up to double bowlers, but really there's just not enough time for him to get through. So all in all, I think that this was a pretty good game set. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So we are all the way up to 5478. 5478, and that puts us all the way up to rank 734. So we will do some more pushing this weekend. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope to see you guys next time.